Hey everyone, welcome back. It's another video. So if you guys recall, I have made two videos now on the OnlyFans star known as Lily Phillips, who decided to sleep with 101 dudes in a day, and she wants to up the ante very soon by sleeping with 1,000 men in a day. That is quite crazy if you ask me, but nevertheless, the internet or the feminist movement, the modern day feminists, came out in force in full solidarity for what Lily did. And they didn't criticize her at all. They seemed to criticize all the men. And I was seeing so many people defending what Lily Phillips did. And I made a secondary video after my initial reaction, which was one, I thought it was the fault of Lily Phillips as well as the fault of the dudes, the disgusting dudes. They didn't have any of the integrity or the decency or respect to stop what actually was going on. Not one of them, not 101 of them, which goes to show me a huge problem is happening in society to our men. And also the fact that any of them showed up there as well goes to show you the degradation of our society as well amongst young and possibly even older men. But more than that, it shows the degradation of a young woman, a 23-year-old young woman who chose to do this. She's not coming and saying, anyway, she's not going like, oh, please feel pity for me. She says she doesn't want it. She doesn't want the pity or the sympathy or anything like that. She chose to do this, right? This was her decision. Now, recently, she went on Candace Owens' podcast, which I thought was rather brave of her to do so. And Candace Owens tells her straight in the face that you were abused. You were abused by 101 men. What parent allows their child to do something like this? I know she's an adult and she can make up her own choice, but what parent goes, oh, I'm fully supportive of your actions to sleep with 101 men in a day. More than that, I'm going to look after your finances. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned or old school. Who knows? But I don't think that is progressive in the slightest to allow or even agree, and not just that, but look after her finances for her. Like, yes, the parents want to help. That is actually affirming what she's doing. You're saying, I agree with what you're doing. So guess what? I'm going to help you out. So Candace is rightfully pointing out to Lily that is actual abuse. They don't care for your well-being. If a parent really cared for your well-being, they would actually say something like, have some respect for yourself, girl, you know? And same with all these dudes. If 1,000 men decide to show up and decide to sleep with Lily Phillips on that one day, I am just like, I know the reaction will be a lot worse than what it is currently for the 101, but I have been seeing so many people now come out and say, you know, Lily Phillips was in the right here. It's all the fault of the men. The men are disgusting and utter pigs. We should hate all men. There was that article that came out, which just goes to show you. It wasn't just that article, by the way. There was countless other articles too. Like, our society is doomed if we continue to allow this kind of stuff to go on. If we not only allow it, but we celebrate it after it's happened. I'm just gobsmacked at not one of the 101 men had the courage or even the decency to stop what took place. And that they deserve to be shamed for all eternity for that, if you ask me. But have a watch of this first clip of Candace talking to Lily, who was clearly traumatized by the experience, and she started crying because of it. And she denies that she was traumatized. She just goes, oh, I'm an emotional person. Have a watch of this clip. By the way, she confirms that she chose to do this and she doesn't want anyone's pity. Watch.
But in the moment, you know, you were crying. And I get obviously what attracts you to this. I'm not going to be patronizing of these questions. It's money and it's fame. You know, these are demonic possessions. You know what people will do for this sort of attention. You're getting a lot of it right now because you've done something, you're saying you're going to do something that no person has done and sleep with 1,000 people in one day. But how do you ignore what you felt after that and how you felt after that and just put on a happy face and pretend that it's normal when it so clearly was not? Like, you clearly were traumatized by the experience.
I personally don't think I was traumatized. I chose to do this. This was something that I wanted to do. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it was fucking easy, but I don't think I was traumatized from it at all. I think as well, obviously from what you might have seen from the documentary, like a lot, the good points I talked about was also very much cut out. At the end of the day, they're there to tell a narrative. And that's kind of the narrative that they went for, is like, this seems like a sad girl, and I don't want people to pity me or feel sorry for me. This is what I chose to do.
Right, but why were you crying? Are you saying these were happy tears?
No, I was extremely overwhelmed. Like, it was very intense. And yeah, I mean, the experience was obviously, like, we had like an hour conversation after, and obviously when he started probing me about some experiences in it, it was, it brought up some tears. I'm a very emotional girl, so I cry a lot.
Yeah, wait, really quick. I'm trying to think.
When you only remember 5 of the 101 encounters, it goes to show you that you were traumatized and your body and your brain are trying to protect you from the crazy situation that you put yourself in. That should be evident to you. If you can't remember all of them, it goes to show me that your body was signaling to you that we're not happy. Get us the hell out of here. We're going to try and protect you, Lily, even though you're going to continue to do this because, mind over body kind of deal. You're just putting everything aside. You're bottling everything up inside you. And your body afterwards, yes, you may be an emotional person, but far out, you just went through a crazy abusive ordeal. 101 dudes. Goodness me, 3 in one night is crazy, but 101 is just next level. But get this, ladies and gentlemen, she wants to do 1,000. 1,000 in one day. Now, the last person that did, I think, 919, she's apparently been married since 1995, which to me is crazy. So that woman currently holds the record for the most amount of dudes she slept with in a day. And I mean, far out. What in the world was that guy even thinking, being still married to her after that ordeal or even before, man? Like, imagine the conversation. Hey, honey, guess what? I've got a great idea. I'm going to sleep with or try and sleep with 1,000 dudes in a day. What do you think about that? Sure, babe, whatever you want. Now, they maybe have like an open relationship, who knows, which to me is not really a relationship at all. And people can argue and criticize me about that if you are actually in an open relationship, but I don't think it is. There's no commitment involved. You can go do whatever you want, which is not actually a proper relationship. It just is more and more abuse. But anyway, have a watch of this next clip, which is rather important.
Didn't do this. It led me to this choice in life, but you don't seem to have recognized your mother's abuse in this, which is quite alarming to me. So I'm just curious about your relationship with her.
I mean, my parents definitely don't describe having as, what did you say? Sorry, abusive or
violating?
I don't think it's abusive. I think your daughter being violated 100 times by strangers is abusive.
So my parents don't describe it as being violated. They don't really see it in that way. They know I've always been very liberal, and to be honest, my parents, they're not coaching me into it. They're not telling me, please keep having these people at all. They're not, they're not really exactly, I wouldn't really say like supportive, but at the end of the day, they love me. And what is it going to do if they disown me, stop talking to me? That would only cause more heartache. So they see it from a standpoint of, my mum does like my finances because she wants to help me. They just want to do what they can to help. It's not so much like if they disown me tomorrow, like, I think that would just make everyone more upset.
Are you giving your mom a cut?
I'm not arguing that they should disown you. I mean, I understand like a mother's love for their child. I'm saying that it is unnatural for your mother to be counting the finances that you're earning from having 100 strangers violate you on the internet for cash, And that is the part that there's just no way to normalize that. There's no way to normalize that. I'm a parent. There's no way, like I have a daughter, and the idea of being involved in that, like, it's not saying that if she goes down that path that you're not going to be there and pray and hope that, you know, she changes and speak to her about that and say, I'm always going to love you. But I view it as predatory, you know, parental behavior. And I don't think it's fair to even describe it as my parents are liberal. I mean, I'm obviously not a liberal, I'm a conservative, but none of my liberal friends, liberal family members, their parents would view this also as demonic, whether they have faith or not. They would just say, what parent would want that for their child? Because your mother is old enough to understand what the implications are for your future. You know, you already comprehend what the futures are, making it, I get that you turn everything into a joke. I think you do that really to protect yourself as an armor. I don't think you actually think it's funny, but to recognize that, like, you're a beautiful young girl, and you're never going to have the prospects. You're not going to have a man that wants to have a family with you because they're going to see you as damaged goods. Your mother partaking in that, just so you know, is a form of abuse. It is. It's abusive.
I personally don't see it as that. I mean, my mum's just trying to help me. But what then would you suggest my mother does? Like,
try to talk you out of it. Like a mom is supposed to guide their children when they're doing decisions like that and say, listen, I understand you may think this is that, or you may think it's this way, but you're a beautiful young girl. You have your entire future ahead of you. You have two parents that love you. You know, you could marry a man and raise children and have a happily ever after, or you could be the girl who everyone knows who can't have a child that goes to school.
Yeah, my parents would rather I not do this, but what are they going to do? They just decide to help with the finances of things, which goes to show me that they're encouraging and they agree with what you're doing. And to me, that's problematic. I don't know about you guys, but to me, that is really problematic. So the whole situation is sick. It's sad. And as someone that believes in chivalry still, I hope to God that it's not dead. I really do. As long as I live, it won't be dead. Okay, that's just the fact of the matter. But what she did and what everyone else has done thereafter, compiling and defending her actions, it's even more sick. Society is sick. Really is. Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care. You be blessed. I'll see you all in the next video.